Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MMA game, and it is your boy Cameron Roget, and today we're going to be talking about UFC 297, Sean Strickland against Dricus du Plessis. But before we get into it, I got to introduce you guys to no, he is not the new middleweight champion of the world. It is not Alex Pereira. It's not Israel Adesanya. It is none other than representing San Diego, California, Ryan Cariss. Yo, Cariss, what's the word?
Hey, Cameron Roget, what's up, my dude, my homie, my guy? We are blessed again to be here to talk about UFC 297, Sean Strickland versus DDP, and it did not go the way that I thought it was going to go.
No, it was interesting. And I mean, let's not say interesting. Let's just say, personally, I think it could have gone either way.
Yes.
Either way. It's either way. Not the way that I wanted it to go, but I mean, we'll dive into that a little bit later, because I do want to give a big shout out, actually, to a new inductee into the Hall of Fame, Frankie Edgar. Man, and I absolutely loved how they presented it to him. It was pretty cool. You could see it was really heartfelt. He had no clue what was going on, and it was nice to see, man, especially a legend like Frankie. Unfortunately, we saw, I think, later on in his career, some of the losses that he took. And for you, the casual viewers who don't know what Frankie was back in the day, that fucking dog of a man, well, let's just say Frankie was one to remember. What are your thoughts on that?
Frankie, congratulations on being into the Hall of Fame, my brother. He deserves it, bro. We know he deserves
100%.
it. He's that guy that's been around forever. He's gone up and down divisions, fought different weights. He was the guy that didn't ever say no, also, right? He was always the one that was putting his hand up, being like, yeah, I'm ready to get in there. So congratulations, Frankie.
Yeah.
Happy for you. Exactly what you said. He had no idea that he was going to be in the Hall of Fame. At least what we know.
Yeah,
that's
man.
kind of what the UFC does is
No idea.
do a presentation during the pay-per-view sections, and all of a sudden these guys are like, oh, wait, I'm going to Hall of Fame? Like, oh, my gosh, wow. So awesome. Congratulations, Frankie. Happy for you. I wonder who's going to be next.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know who's going to be next, but I'll tell you this. I'll know who's next in the prelims, because my girl, Jasmine Justavicius, not only did she get performance of the night, but she backed you, boy, from the pick in the hat. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you.
Yes, well done, Jasmine. Dude, it was nice that we got to have somebody that you picked out of the hat randomly. And then, were you paying attention that much more during this fight? You're like, that's.
I definitely did. Because I actually started watching the event when this fight started. So I did miss the very first fight with Jimmy Flick and Malcolm Gordon, but I was tuning in to see my girl dominate. And then from there, that's when the card started for Cameron.
You did. And even though the Jimmy Flick card, Malcolm decided to retire after that fight because he lost, unfortunately. So he decided to throw a post out there saying, I'm retiring from the UFC. So good luck in the future, my brother.
Yeah. Good luck. Next, in the welterweights, actually, in the early prelims, we do have to talk about this guy, Sam Patterson, representing the UK. Tough day for the Canadian fighters, huh? Tough day for the male Canadian fighters, because Jasmine did hold it down.
Because Johan on this one was actually kind of potentially winning, and then Sam decided to take him down, which was smart.
Yeah.
And then he submitted him with that nice little dark choke. I think he tried to do it twice, and then he got out of it, and then he was able to get back into it.
Yeah, man.
And be able to finish that with a nice little choke.
That was a really good fight for Sam. It was cool because after you hearing the commentators talk about his story and whatnot, coming up weight, fixing, now he figured it out. It's good. That's really good.
This was his first fight in the UFC, I think it was, wasn't it? Or was this his second?
Nah, you're the stat guy.
But good fighter. I'm glad that I was able to pick him, because now he's one of those guys that we're going to pay attention to moving forward, because he had a very good performance. UFC hopefully put a little bit of money into him and be like, hey, we're going to put you on now the prelims, because you were on the early prelims. Put you on the preliminary card with a better name this time.
Yeah. We'll see what they do with that. And then moving into the prelims. So with the prelims, just to briefly mention it, I do want to talk about the first fight that opened up with Jillian Robertson against Poliana Viana. Now, I did go with Viana, and I was absolutely in shock to see the performance of Jillian Robertson on the ground. Absolute beast, absolute animal. I fucked up. I should have gone with her. Now, lesson learned, because she looked really good.
You said Viana was going to win this one?
Yeah, I did. I thought I thought it was going to stay on the feet just a little bit longer. Wish you would have took her out, but clearly Jillian had other plans, and her other plans clearly worked. And after that one, we actually had a really, really, really good fight. And if you didn't get a chance to tune and see this one, I would recommend watching it again on ESPN Plus. We had Sergey City representing Ukraine against Ramon Tavares representing the United States. I don't know how you had this scored, but I actually was okay with the draw.
I was okay with the draw. I thought that Saidi actually potentially had won this fight. It looked like he potentially had round 2 and round 3 under his belt, but his face was so messed up that I think the judges are maybe
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, I mean, and you hear Dominic Cruz talk about it on the commentary, right? He kept saying damage is key, damage is key, damage is key, and yeah, I would have to agree. If you look at the damage, it was a lot in favor for Tavares, and I'm okay with that decision. But I would not be opposed to them running that back one more time.
Okay, I'm all right.
And they already, I think they fought already once, so this would be if they do it again, it'd be the third time they fought.
This was the Dana White Contender Series,
correct?
Where Tavares won.
Correct.
Tavares had a look in his face at the end of this fight that he wasn't sure that he actually won. He was a little surprised that he got his hand raised on this one, and I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, that's
you knew it too.
that's how 50-50 it was, right? You could have. I'm okay. So let's see it one more time.
Yeah.
And then what I mentioned would have been the highlight, the performance of the night with Charles Jourdain against Sean Woodson, with a little confusion at the end on the winner. Man, I was actually really disappointed in Charles.
I was too. I was actually disappointed in both of them. Let me just say that. Because I was talking to you about Sean Woodson being like, "Hey, this is going to be a guy gonna do something," and when we were looking at him, I was like,
"Yeah, I just
not really sorry."
Like watching it, I was excited for it, but it kind of like the main event, it didn't give me what I needed.
Yeah, it let it down.
Yeah,
I was expecting a little bit more from that, and it just kind of just didn't give it.
How did you score it?
I had Jourdain round 1 and round 3, so I had it.
Oh wow. I gave it Woodson 1 and 2, and I gave Jourdain 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it
is
what it is.
Another close one.
Yeah.
On this card.
And
to be quite honest, it was the same exact thing during this fight as the last one, where if they would have caught a draw or if they would have given it to Brad, I would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in the main event, in the prelims, we had Brad Katona against Garrett Armfield, and you guys know I'm a big SBG fan. And this one did not go so well for your boy Cameron. Brad, listen, my man, I'm expecting you to put lights out, dog. We representing SBG, you representing John Kavanaugh, you representing the one, the only, the notorious Conor McGregor. Come on, bro. You can't be doing that, fam. Especially in Canada, you got the whole country on your back, bro. You gotta let them hands go, Papa. Man, we trying to see a knockout, Papa. Oh my goodness, I didn't even want to talk about it that much. That's how disappointed I was in this man. Man,
talk about it because there's probably a little bit more better fight as the next one.
Yeah, but it's okay because after this fight, this is where it kicked off. UFC did the promo. It got me all excited. But Arnold Allen against Movsar Evloev. Oh my goodness! I told you that boy's a problem. I told y'all. Didn't I say that, Cariss?
You did.
Didn't I said the boy's? He's the boy. He's bad.
He is bad. And you also said that it was going to be the wrestling that determined this fight, and that's exactly what it was.
Bro, the man, he's 18-0 for a reason.
Yes.
Don't sleep on these Russians, dog. These Russians know how to do one thing. It's wrestle.
Was it entertaining?
I loved it. I loved it from the get-go. From the get-go, it was a lot of blood. I think we got to see Arnold Allen in a position where we've never seen him before, and he's fought against the Max Holloways. Look how this man was touching him, and you could actually see it was hurting Allen. We didn't see that against Max.
No. You can tell there was that 1-2 in the second round where he cracked him and he went down, and all of a sudden he got back up and he cracked him with the right hand again. And you're like, oh, this fight is over. No, it wasn't.
How did you score it?
I had it. Let me get to my notes here. I had it 2-1.
I had it in unanimous.
Oh, yeah.
I had you straight across, beat that man's ass.
All right. Here's the question of the day on this fight: illegal knees or not?
No, I absolutely love what Goddard did. I think it was smart. Yeah, because I mean, and I think it was somebody said on the commentary, every time he strikes, he's going to lift him up. right?
Yes.
Now he's trying to gain his balance, but again, in the moment of him trying to get his hands down, it's in that murky water part. So I like that no point was taken away. It's a very hard warning, but we continue from there. The cut, it happens. It happens. Because if that was the case, then in the main event, we should have looked at Sean Strickland's headbutt.
His headbutt. We'll get to that in a second.
Right? That should have been looked at.
So when this happened during the fight, most MMA fans are not a fan of this rule, right? Because what happens is, and I believe this is what happened in this scenario, and if you feel different, that's okay, right? Everyone has a little different opinion on the way this went. But Arnold Allen had him in a dominant position, and he had him to where Movsar had to put his hand down. If Movsar did not put his hand down, he's going to catch a couple knees, which he already caught, right? And the way the UFC describes it is they try to say that it is an illegal punch when you are weight bearing on your hand if you put your hand down. In this situation, to most people in the community, it looked as if he just put his hand down so he wouldn't take knees, and therefore that's why he just put his hand down. And that's why when Allen just picked him up just a little bit and kneed him, that a lot of people were saying that those 3 knees were legal. Now, I can 100% see why it is illegal because he put his hand down in order to be able to nullify what Arnold Allen was potentially going to be doing, right? So, in this situation, some fans were 50-50 on it, and I was on the side of, I thought it was a little cheap of Evloev to put his hands down, but it was smart because obviously he got it stopped, and I think that's why Marc Goddard did not take away a point, because he noticed that it was such a weird situation where you saw Movsar putting his hand down and Arnold Allen picking him up and kneeing him at the same time, that he was just like, you know what, that was illegal, but I'm not going to take a point because I see what happened within that situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, and two, we don't know what the rules are with this commission. They could have the old school rules where these new rules aren't in effect. So that could have came in a factor to where it's so new to both fighters that, yeah, maybe he was doing that. But if they didn't know and they thought it was the old rules because maybe that was told to them before the fight, then that would be illegal hits. If it wasn't, and let's say those are still in effect, then I 100% agree with how Goddard handled it, because at the end of the day, the fighters didn't know. You're not going to punish somebody if they ultimately didn't know, and it's in that weird murky area where maybe he's trying to catch his balance. Is he trying to put his hands down? Who knows, right? I mean, we can only speak from experience being in those positions. I know if I was in that position, I'd probably try and get my hands down on the mat.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why
to try and help me get out. So yeah, but I do think that Goddard handled that as best as possible.
I think so too. Not mad about that one. But the problem is that Allen's going to go down from here, and Movsar's going to go up. And
I see no problem with that. I see no problem with that.
I like Arnold Allen. You do too. You do too. But Movsar in this situation is going to be
Movsar's fucking problem. That's what it is. And next in the middleweight division, we have Cariss Curtis against Marc-Andre Barriult. And
versus Powerbomb.
Well, you think you might need to change both of these nicknames after this fight, because there was no Action Man and there was no Power Bar. For me, I scored it. It was kind of hard for me at first, but I went with Barriult 1, and then I gave Curtis 2 and 3. I just it's hard to tell what was going on in here. I didn't know if, like, at times I thought Marc-Andre was scared of Cariss Curtis and to come in because he, yeah. I mean, the third round was, I think, everything that everybody wanted in the fight earlier on, but it just never got there because maybe, I mean, again, they're figuring each other out. I don't know, but I came to see the first pay-per-view of the year, and I came to see knockouts.
And we didn't get one.
I came to see bodies hit the floor. In the main card, yeah. In the next one we did, and I'm talking about that because I was screaming.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, we did get
But yeah, but saying on that fight, look, yeah, and what I do find interesting, and now it's changed, but I always wondered what would happen if Strickland had to fight Cariss Curtis. But I think they would fight each other, to be honest. Yeah, I heard that. So they'd fight each other.
Action Man was simply saying that I get beat up from this dude every single day, so I'll sign on the dotted line if you want to pay me to get my ass beat by my friend that I get beat up from every single day.
Yeah.
So
I'll
do it.
There's one thing I did mention. So I don't know if you saw, I forgot what round, in the third round. Did you see when Cariss Curtis shook his hand? Yeah, so
shook it
yeah,
out.
so he threw a punch
Yeah.
and he started shit, and I was like, oh shit, he broke
He
his
broke
shit.
it.
If you look back in that round, he doesn't throw it for a while until he was getting touched a little bit by Marc. Then he threw it like because he had to throw it. But look, go back, go watch it. Like round 3, yeah, round 3. I have it here in my notes. Round 3. Like, because I saw it and I was like, oh shit, he might have broken something or something didn't feel right because he was shaking and then he just kept it home, didn't let it go back again. So who knows how long he's gonna be out? Because I would not mind to see a quick turnaround for Chris Curtis, because I think I think he could do good. Nah, maybe not even that. Maybe on the Anaheim card because I'm going. No, I'm just kidding. But maybe that 300. I mean, we'll see how that plays out because we're still waiting on the main event for 300.
Or we get him during International Fight Week. That's not what. Get Sean during that one too.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know what they're gonna do with Sean, bro. It's gonna be a little dicey. But after that one, we had Neil Magny against Mike Malott, the hometown boy.
Yeah.
And did it start good for Canada? Yes, it did. It did. I gave Malott 1 and 2.
Wait, 1, 2, give him the half of that third round. Give him a little bit.
I told you guys, there's something going on with Magny. I don't know what it was. I think that whole Ian Garrett thing brought something up in that boy because he came out on top in a moment when I don't think anybody said Magny was going to get through it. My boy put the fucking I don't know what he pulled out of his fucking back pocket, bro. But
where'd it come from?
Seriously. And he just beat the shit out of him.
When did that start? Like, I want to go back and look at it.
Yeah.
It was on the main card, so I didn't have it recorded. But I'm just saying, I want to go back and look at it and be like, wait, when did the tide turn? When did it turn?
It turned, and Mike had no answer.
It wasn't a punch.
Nah, bro.
He was all of a sudden just on top of him. And it was just like, wait, this fight completely changed. Completely.
Oh, man. Like, when I tell you guys I was screaming at the TV, I'm screaming because the whole time I'm thinking, oh, well, fuck, it's over. It's a wrap. Stupid. You should have never went with fucking Neil. And then all of a sudden, my man just turned. Fucking Black Panther powers came in. I don't know, but I'll take that. Take that to the bank.
And then my buddy Gabe texted me. He's like, Malott finally realized he was fighting Neil Magny. And Neil Magny turned around and changed the entire script. And he's like, you know what? No.
That's the old Magny.
We're not going out like this.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind during this entire fight, just being like, kind of thinking that same exact thing, like, when's Neil Magny going to turn around? He's not out of this fight.
Nah.
He was not out of the fight as you watch the entire He was not out of the fight. He was in it the entire time. He wasn't in the situation where he was just curling up and being like, oh, shit, like, I'm in trouble. No. He was in it the entire time. And
100%.
And then all of a sudden, like I said, where'd that turn come from? All
yeah, man.
It was just like, boom, and just the tide turned, and it's like, bam, all of a sudden it went towards his way. I'm not mad about it. I am because I chose Mike Malott.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad because that's Neil Magny. He's got number 5. He's got 5 wins in a year. Stop taking credit.
Just saying.
Yeah, now that you did that, move on.
Well, and I'll explain my emotions at this point in the card because now I'm on a high. I'm on a fucking high going into the co-main. Raquel Pennington against Mayra Buena Silva. Now,
were you let down right after that high?
I don't get disappointed very often in fights. I don't like when people boo in fights. I'm not a big fan of it. But let me tell you this. For this fight here, for all the shit my girl was talking, Mayra. Mayra.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For everything that she was saying about Raquel, calling it a boring fight and that everyone slept. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need you to go back home, baby girl, and figure something out because this ain't gonna work. This can't happen again. No. You put on some amazing performances before. Maybe it was because you were screaming at Bruce Buffer when he was announcing your name and he had no more energy to go on a 5-round fight for the belt, for the strap. First time Must I remind you, this is the belt that the one, the only, the GOAT, Amanda Nunes held, who is from your country. Yeah. Now, you telling me you went all the way to fucking Canada and your gas tank fucking bust in the second fucking round? Are you kidding me?
You didn't even make it 3. You only got it 2.
You telling me you decided you're going to lay on your back and just try and hope that Raquel just goes to the ground with you? You're going to tell me you're not going to listen to your corner when they said, do not go into the clinch. Stay out. But I'm going to just go right back in it because, hey, Raquel ain't going to do nothing. Do you not realize you are fighting for the fucking belt? Yes, if you can tell,
Fight?
I was pretty pissed. When this fight, I was pissed. I was hot. I was gonna text you too, and I was gonna be like this, but I said, you know what, Cam? The main event's next. Well, yeah. Before, sorry, I had to go on my little rant there, but
Izzy did a post because you know how he does like
yeah.
reactions for all the fights.
Man.
During this section of it, they literally showed 3 different pictures of him just sleeping during the fight because it was that boring.
And the thing is, it's like, and I don't really care who fights for this belt again.
Not at all. Not at all.
Can
you understand why I chose my dark horse as?
Oh my god, bro! Well, her coming out and saying that, saying that right after. Did you hear that when she said, "Hey, I mean, fuck, we might need you to come back." Cyborg, are you still available? Can you come back too, just to add some spice? Because if this is what I gotta pay attention to, I don't know. This is gonna be tough. Now, shout out to Raquel. She did her job. She did what she needed to do to get to the win. But I'm just looking about who's next. Who's next? Are we gonna get Mayra again if Juliana wins? Because I can't have another second round tank busting. She don't know what to do. Nah. We gonna get the return of Ronda Rousey? Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. But hopefully Dana has a plan. I trust Dana. I should get a shirt that says that. In Dana, I trust. That'd be a good one.
In God, we trust.
In Dana, we trust. And with the UFC on there.
You like how Raquel Pennington didn't even listen to the corner when they said stop.
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck.
Don't go into the clinch. And everybody that I was watching with, I was watching at Matt's house, and there was a number of people in there. Yeah. Everyone's saying, "Why are you clinching? Stay away!" And every time she would just go in there and just grab on and just be like,
"Yeah,
she
knew it was fucking working." Yeah, because look how Mayra, like, she was just dead. And that's why she was clinching. So oh my god! After the fact, but at the same time, it's like, stop clinching, back up. Yeah. Right hand. And there were some moments too, and obviously now we both do jujitsu, so we kind of know. But there's some moments when Mayra got her in some really good spots, and I'm looking at her trying to pull off the finish, and for whatever reason, just maybe she didn't get it cinched up like right away. You probably have a better like idea about it since you're doing no gi and I'm doing gi. But still, like, I just felt like for some of the positions she was in, she should have been able to put her out faster, quicker, meaner. I don't know, fucking something.
I'm gonna take it back to exactly what you said in the beginning. She gassed out after round 2. Yeah. So when she was in those dominant positions, round 3, round 4, and round 5, I don't want to say dominant. When she was in a good position to be able to get to the next step and be able to then potentially get her into a choke or a dominant position that she was then controlling the fight. Yeah. She didn't have the gas tank to be able to do it. Nah. And baby girl, this is a 5-round fight. Title fight that you were praying for. Yeah. Well,
shout out to Raquel Pennington and Tisha Torres. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
It was sad that some of the women that were in the room were saying, why did you thank your wife like the last? You thanked the water boy. You thanked the guy at the UFC tank. You thanked this. She thanked Tisha Torres like one of the last ones and her kid. I don't know if you saw that.
Nah, I mean, because
you stopped paying attention to the entire thing.
Not yeah, but I would probably make that same mistake too. So I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie. You need to thank your significant other first. That's your first thing. Why? Because that's the person you got to go home to.
I think God would go first. God would go first, and then we'll filter in from there. I think second,
but not 5th or 6th or 10th. Not the last one.
Maybe they had an argument. Who knows? And in the main event of the evening, Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis.
EDP.
Wow. Well, there was a lot of blood. There was.
There was.
A lot of blood. What did you think about Sean's performance? Was that the Sean that you expected to see?
It was the Sean that I expected in round 1 because he kept doing that front T-kick and he kept doing his Philly shell and he was doing very well with the left jab, followed by the right hand. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't impressed with him after that factor. And the reason why I wasn't impressed was because in a couple fights before, in his corner, Chris Curtis actually said, start doubling up on your jab, right? Start changing your game up a little bit. I didn't see him change up his game all that much during this fight. The only thing that I actually saw him stop doing was that T-kick up the front.
Yeah.
That front leg kick a little bit. And I noticed that DDP kind of had a little bit more angles to be able to get at Sean.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought that Sean was doing a very his defense early on was on point.
He was.
On fucking point. He was checking
especially with that
everything.
Kick down the middle too. I
Checking
was gonna talk about that check.
everything,
I have that
bro.
written down. That's
That
another one.
that to me really it stood out. But I just felt like I had Sean winning it. I gave him rounds 1, 3, and 5. But then on Dricus' side, I wanted to give him 3. 3 was a toss up for me, so I gave him 2 and 4. But 3 for me could have gone either way. I went to Sean. So was I shocked that DDP won? No, I just feel like the when you look at the ground control,
From DDP.
that has to be scored better because there's nothing being done there, and if anything, Sean did a reversal on one of those, and I was like, bro, that's so fucking clean.
Yeah.
I think he shot for a single leg. Sean then reversed it by putting his arm up the middle and then hooking himself out, and I was like, dude, that's so fucking clean. Like, I think there should be points awarded for escapes like that. If you're able to do that, and here's the thing, now that I'm in jiu-jitsu, I know how hard it is getting not only get out, but getting in those positions too. So I think for the risk of you trying to take somebody down, there has to be a reward for somebody not allowing you to get them in those positions. So I think if we were to look at the scoring, there needs to be something done in that area of the game.
Yes, I agree. I was going to say that, and before we go to other things, is the leg checks, because that was the other thing. I got some stats right here that I just want to talk about just as we can. First off, I want to go rounds, because punch stat within rounds. Round 1, 34 for Sean, 18 for DDP. Round 2, 22 for Sean, 26 for DDP. Round 3, 31 for Sean, 29. 33 round 4, 29. Round 5, 53, 35. So what you said, if you're just going by punch stats, you were correct on round 1, round 3, and round 5. Most people had it round 1, 2, and 5. I did a lot of looking into this one because this was the question of the night. Of which rounds did most people get?
Yeah.
Most people that I saw within the community were saying that Sean was round 1, round 2, and round 5. I had him round 1, round 2, and round 5. The other side of it was exactly what you said: round 1, round 3, and round 5 for Sean. Now the question is that some people are actually giving DDP round 5, and I have no idea how or why. Okay, the punch stats, the count for total significant strikes for Sean was 183 out of 419. For DDP, it was 140 out of 358. So Sean significantly had more strikes and more connected lands. To the head, significant strikes, he was 157 to 81. Okay. To the body, he was 10, and DDP had 32.
Yeah.
Now to the legs, Sean was 6, DDP was 24. Now the reason why I want to pause at the legs right here is because what you said and what I had written down right here was how many of those did Sean actually check?
Yeah.
He checked a lot.
He checked a lot, and I'm just going off of visuals. Right after the fight, I'm looking at DDP walk, and he's limping.
He is, yeah. Sean checked a number of those, and this goes back to exactly what you said. They need to be rewarded for that, because all that happens is exactly what these strike counts that I just said right here.
Yeah.
Leg kicks was 24 out of 34, and probably 10 of those out of the 24 were checked.
Yeah.
Right? To where Sean gets a point from that, and Sean gets a point for potentially getting up. So when DDP went to the ground, he didn't do that much when he was on the ground. And that's what most people in the community were saying.
No, there was really no real damage done. No, not at all.
There was
not
no
at all.
attempts for a submission.
No.
There was no holding him down for a long period of time.
No.
Right? And so a lot of the community was saying, oh, they're giving him more credit because he was able to take him down and keep him down. No, he didn't keep him down. He took him down, but then he got right back up.
Yeah. Right? It's just got to get cleaned up, man. It's got to get cleaned up. Because, I mean, do we want to see this run back?
Yes and no. Yes, because of the simple fact of most people thought that Sean won.
Yeah.
And that's even what Dana White said. And I have something that I want to say here, which we want to talk about, because Dana White said it. I've said it for years. My buddy Gabe, my buddy Tunko, and I have had this conversation. And Dana White said it in the post-fight press conference, saying that you have to take it from the champ. You have to take the title from the champ. And this was a questionable scoring because it was a split decision. So therefore, if it's a split or any question at all, old school style is no, you got to win 4 rounds out of 5, or you got to finish the dude and take him out. Otherwise, if you don't, you don't win. Like the guy holds the belt, and therefore he just keeps onto it because you didn't definitively beat him.
Yeah, my only issue with that is, what if you get like somebody that's just a point fighter, like just looking for points, and they went off point, like they beat the champ, but they just beat him off points.
True. Well, that's the Volkanovski one. I felt that was number 1 fight for Volkanovski and Max. He beat him on points, right? He didn't fully like just beat him up. He just beat him on points. But you could tell, like I was saying, like, oh yeah, he won because he won by points.
Yeah, because I mean, and I'll tell everybody what I texted you. Like, I think, what was it, Friday, Thursday? One of those days, I texted Cariss, and I had a feeling. I was like, dude, something tells me Dricus is going to win this fight. Yes. And it's going to be backed heavily by the UFC because I don't know if you saw that they canceled the Saudi Arabia. I saw that. Right? I saw that. It was supposed to be in March, now, and then they were trying to say it for June. UFC's talked about, like, for a while about doing Africa. And I think now you have the perfect storm to do Africa, right? If you're able to do it, this is the fight, you bring back Izzy, right? Izzy against Du Plessis in Africa. And this would be, I mean, imagine if they just pull this out of their hat. They did, okay, we're going to do Dricus against Izzy, UFC 300 main card, but it's in Africa, the whole card. They just pull that twist on us. Now that they said Vegas, but I mean we'll see. But right, imagine if they did that. I mean, even if they don't have 300 in Africa, but just having those 2 headline in Africa card, and then this is where you get Sean his payback. Sean gets the winner. Right, okay. That's where you could say, okay, Sean, look, we didn't give you automatic. We didn't give Izzy automatic rematch. We didn't, and we're not giving you an automatic rematch. But the way we can make this even, you get the winner.
Because he should.
And if you want to fight somebody instead of waiting, right, you can fight the winner of Paulo Costa and Whitaker.
Hey, that's a good play out.
And now you say, okay, Sean, you can pick. What do you want? Now, if I'm the UFC, I'd probably say, Sean, I'm gonna give you more money if you do the winner of Costa and Whitaker, because you could get in a scenario where if Paulo Costa somehow beats Whitaker, and then you have Izzy beats Dricus, and then we get that. Remember how juicy that was? Everybody tuned into that fight, right? We get Paulo Costa against Izzy. Right, I think but what would sell more is a Paulo Costa against Sean Strickland. That fight would sell.
That would sell big time. Because you know, I'm feeling it.
It's something I like to do in my free time.
I like that play. That works.
Yeah, so I think that would be a good way to keep this division moving. But not gonna lie though, fucking put some respect on DDP's name.
That's true.
He's good. He's good. And I was scared. I was scared of this fight because I know how good he is. He's good, bro. He's really, really good.
Do you have any say on the Drake curse? I said that at the beginning of the fight. I said it to everybody that was in the room. I was like, this isn't going to go that good for Sean because what you and I talked about South Africa and trying to get there. And they want and then all of a sudden I saw like, oh, Drake put a $700,000 bet on Strickland.
I don't really fuck with those. I don't really mess with those kind of things.
The funny thing is, it is a curse, guys. Everybody that Drake has bet on, he's lost every single time. I don't think he's won one.
He's just not a good betting dude. At the end of the day, he just doesn't know where to put his money.
Yeah, just don't bet with Drake.
Nah, just go opposite. And by the time you go opposite, he's gonna win one. Watch.
That's true. The one that you go opposite, he actually wins. And you don't win. Hey, did you like that the Brazilian Terminator was in Strong Strickland's corner?
Yeah, for what? I mean, when I first saw it, I said for what, but then again, my wheels got turning, and then he doesn't help because then he comes out and he says, you know, what if I take the middleweight too? Well, shit, I'm here for it. You want to be dry?
Please.
You can, and guess what? And now you could pull Izzy. You want this guy? Izzy, you want this guy now for the belt? You get your strap back. You want this guy? Sean, you get the winner. See, I think Sean's in a good spot. Regardless where Sean, like Sean's in a very good spot. He may have lost this one, and I think with all the attention he's getting now with the scoring, he is going to get it. But he's in a good spot. But Pereira could do whatever he wants, baby. Hey, do you see his fans, bro?
Oh,
They
yeah.
love, bro.
People
Love Brazilian
Still
Terminator,
telling me
bro.
jumping on the ship. They're like, oh yeah, we like
Chama.
We've been on that shit for a long
The dude's
time.
good, bro. He's good. He's a fan favorite for sure. Fan favorite for sure. And now we have to wait a couple weeks until the next one. Man.
Sorry, we didn't talk about this.
Yeah.
Did you see when Sean got headbutted?
I think it's when that cut first opened up, I think, right? On his eye.
Well, he showed it on his Instagram.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go under Sean Strickland's Instagram, and they showed a nice little picture of how big it was, and they literally had to stitch into the muscle in order to be able to get it connected. But he showed a replay of it, and they were against the fence, and he was coming this direction, and DDP was coming up, and you kind of see it, and then all of a sudden he wipes his face, and there was blood coming down from it. We thought that it was a potential punch, right? One of the jabs that nobody saw. He did punch him later with the jab in the same exact spot.
Yeah.
In order to be able to make it more.
Yeah.
But it was a headbutt, because during that situation I was like, wait, when did he get punched and start bleeding? Like, you didn't really see the punch that he started bleeding from, and I was like, wait, did he get headbutted? And then I kind of confirmed later on that he did get a little crack of the head. Now, it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't anything of that nature, so it wasn't a bad thing by DDP. It just was unfortunate that they clashed it.
Yeah, DDP's eye was nasty though. Sean was fucking tagging that thing, bro. Jesus.
Both of them were pretty bad.
Yeah, like he got fucked up in that fight too. But it was good. I mean, they said there was gonna be blood, bro. So, and I mean, to them, they at least added some spice coming from that co-main. Like it did ramp up the card a little bit. But shout out to Toronto, dude. Toronto fans, you guys held it down, bro. Crazy. They're crazy over there. I would love to go watch a fight with them, bro. Man.
Who they wanted.
Yeah.
One second they were rooting for Sean. Next second they were rooting for DDP. Next second they were rooting for Sean. I'm like, all right.
Maybe they just want some action.
They do.
Maybe.
And they booed a couple times during the wrong.
A lot. A lot of boos.
A
lot of boos. But all good. Overall, it was a good start. UFC is back. And now we get ready for UFC 298. And it's not at Disneyland. It's right across the street at the Anaheim Honda. Is it the Honda Center? Honda Center? Yeah. And we are going. And I can't wait. I get to see. You know what? I was doing some homework the other day. And this is the second time I get to watch Ilia Topuria. Dude, he fought on the Connor card. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? So I went back and I looked at all the people. And I was like, dude, I saw a lot of big names. Like now they're big names. Now they're big, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So before we close, anything else you want to say, dude?
Nah. We had a good day. Thank you everyone for taking the time of their day to come listen to our show.
Yeah, man. Like, follow, subscribe. I know you guys like the YouTube. Keep tuning in. It is your boy Cameron, the notorious Roget, with my boy Cariss. The MMA game is out.